Hey YouTube, it's Taki with TaqiTech. Okay, so actually this was supposed to just be one episode here. Welcome to episode 9 of the Complex Timesheet series, Breaking DateDiff. Part 1 now, because I'm going to break it up into a couple of different episodes here. So, taking a look at the VB editor, I came in here and let's see. So the VB editor, I got into the VB editor and I brought down print last line all the way, dropped it down. That's going to be the very last thing we do, print last out. I added some more notes, print times to the timesheet, calculate break times. I already had the print times to the timesheet. I'm sorry. Calculate break times was the first note that I entered. The second note that I entered was print break times. Now I'm not sure at this point if this is going to end up moving up here, calculate and print break times, or if I'm just going to if I'll actually do it in two different steps. Before we get into calculate break times, I want to do a test. I'm going to take a look on our sheet and see if cell B6 has any value. Because if it does, that means we have breaks. We at least have one break. If it doesn't, then there's nothing more I need to do. So we're not going to go into our new subroutine, load new breaks or new load breaks, if there's nothing in B6. So we'll take a look here. B6 does have 10 a.m. in it, so that means that we're going to go into this subroutine that I called new load breaks. Now the reason for that prefix new is because there was a previous load breaks that just seemed overly complicated and wasn't really something that I want to deal with at this point. I might go back and take some aspects of it, but I just started coding it on its own. And basically what I wrote in here was we have about 4 lines of code. We have one variable. It's a subroutine variable that's only available within the subroutine called row count. I set that, I dimmed it as an integer, initialized it to 6, so it equals 6, and I did a do loop, do until row count equals 11, or better get this changed to superstar, sheet superstar cells 6b and onwards equals nothing. So I could have actually, if it should at least run one time, and then we should stop because it would be B7 equals nothing, then we're done. If not, it will stop at row 11. I believe breaks stop at B10, so B11, that should be empty. So it should stop there regardless. So let's run this, and let's see what we get. Actually, I want to start with I want to kind of jump over some of these other ones here. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to throw it into a test sub. You could actually just break load, let's capitalize that, break load. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it says. All right, so let's see if this works here. So we're gonna run it. This should drop over into the subroutine because B6 does have a value in it. There we go. As expected to the subroutine. We're going into the subroutine. It should run through the do loop run once. So here's our row count. Row count is equal to 0 at this point. Now it equals 6. Row count equals 6. Do until row count equals 11. So we're going to at least do it one time, or this equals 0. Or space, basically. And as expected, it dropped in. Should do it just once. Now row count equals 7. So now we're going to be evaluating the value of cell B7 right here. And that should be empty, and that should exit us out of the loop. It doesn't. So, wondering, let me try it one more time here. I'm looking, so this is 7, it's column B, sheets equals superstar. That should work. Wondering why that didn't work. Yeah, and it's going to keep going. Let's see here. Let's see if it'll stop at 11 at least. I mean, I'll be shocked if it didn't. Okay, let's see what row count equals. Row count, so it went through all of them. So let's see if I could figure out sheet superstar. Let me drag this up here so now row count will equal 6. And let me see if I could change this. Sheets. Now what's the name of it? SUPE. Okay. So that should be correct. Cells. I would get an error message if there was something off there. So let me pause the video and see if I could figure out where my mistake is. Usually when I pause the video, I figure it out right away because I can put my full attention on that. So I'm going to pause it real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so the issue here was I had a space for the value. And what you need is this. This equals nothing. If you put a space here, it equals space. And I figured this out. I have seen people use this editor and they were able to read the values of cells. I'm not sure if it was a range, and that's the reason why it's not working here or not. I have to test that out at some other point. But I hard-coded it in to see what I got in this variable called test. That's just a string, and that's how I figured it out. And then I looked at this code down here and said, oh, okay. So that means that the original code that I wrote back in the main subroutine that we'll get to in just a minute doesn't really work real well. So let's run through this do loop again and make sure that it works, and then let's clean this up. And it's, oh, because I still have the space on. Okay. I forgot to put it back. Let's go back up here. And that's it. Good. Now that worked. And we could exit out of this. And let me fix this now. And let me go back real quick to breaks before I forget and clean this up. We could just take out these lines of code right here. So that do loop works. There you can see some behind the scenes stuff. And let's go to main real quick. And let's test this out. And the way we would test this out was we would take that out. And let's see. Now it should not go into the then part of the if statement. So we're just going to go if and exit end sub. Done. So that all that checks out. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you like the content on this channel, make sure you subscribe. And that's it for this time. In the next episode, we're going to start talking about arrays and start loading variables, loading data into arrays. So I'll see you in the next episode. Until next time, take it easy.